The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O, the R, the K. Look yourself in the face. Look yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, are you giving 120% every day? Every play? Give me 120 or don't give me nothing at all. The guy you competing against, you haven't outworked him. You've not outworked the person next to you. You've not out-hustled them. You've not out-grind them. You've not outdone them. You're not locked in. Bring all your passion. Bring heart. Every single game, every single play. Put forth 120% or don't ask nobody to do nothing good. The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. I hope everybody's having a great morning. Happy Friday. Happy Good Friday to everybody who celebrates. Going to make this a short stream today because I got some stuff I got to take care of before the holiday weekend starts. Plus, I got to get some work done. So I'm going to make this a short one today, but wanted to give you guys some updates. It's the stock market's closed today, so there's no pre-markets to look at. So we're going to go ahead and go through some of this crypto market stuff. The crypto market right now sitting at a $1,177 billion market cap, which is just $1 billion under where we talked about yesterday. So it's about even, give or take $1 billion, it's about even. We look at that as if it's if it doesn't mean much, but $1 billion is pretty much nothing when it comes to the worldwide cryptocurrency market. But yeah, it's about $1,177 billion global market cap today. Good morning, Crypto Benny. How are you? Glad you're up and at it this morning. Thank you for stopping by. We got Bitcoin sitting around $27,942. Pretty much trading sideways all day yesterday and this morning. Not a lot of movement. It's been hanging out around this high 27 to low 28 range for a day or two now. We got Ethereum sitting at about $1,858. It's been again trading sideways about the last 24 hours. Not a lot of movement in the market in general. But we do, even though the stock market's closed today, we do have the jobs report that's coming out today that could really affect these markets. If that comes in a little bit hotter than what we think, or a little bit better than what we think, I guess we should say, because they want the jobs report to come in where a lot of people are losing jobs. So if it comes in a little bit better than what they thought, we could see this market kind of flip a little bit. So that's coming in today. Something to pay attention to is that jobs report today as it comes in. It kind of lets you know where the market will head for the rest of the day and going into Monday as well. So make sure you're paying attention to that. XRP sitting at that 50 cent range, guys. We talk about this 50 cent level right here. It either acts as support or resistance depending on what's going on, but this 50 cent range right here is a key range. It's one that XRP has a hard time breaking and staying above. We did for a couple of days last week. Came right back down underneath that 50 cent range. That 50 cent level is a key level for XRP. Dogecoin, we talked about this here. This thing went on a run. We knew it was going to come back down. Elon went back to the bird, took the dog off of Twitter. This thing started to retrace a little bit, but we knew that this was coming. Knew it kind of wasn't going to stay where it was. It wasn't going to stay running. Polygon again, trading sideways really when you really look at it between this $110 and $113 range. So the whole market's pretty much sideways right now. Not a lot going on in the market. And that's one of the other reasons why we'll probably get a little bit of shorter stream today, outside of the fact that I got a whole bunch of stuff to take care of. But not really a ton going on. Stellar, it's sitting here right around this 10-cent range, 10.5. Been pretty much trading sideways. The one that I'm really got my eyes on right now, I should say the two, is H-bar, which is roughly around the 6 cent range right here. It's kind of been up and down a little bit. More on a seller side. It's been heading down a little bit, so kind of got my eye on that. And Quant, Quant's got some a lot of selling pressure in it, and it's coming down a little bit. So them are the only two really that I'm watching, that I'm looking at and saying maybe. So other than that, everything's just sideways. The whole market sideways. The Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index still sitting at greed. Nothing's changed with that. So, you look at the market on the overnight. Hex took a big hit, down 9.3% on the overnight. It took a big hit. You look at Dogecoin down 7.4%. We talked about that a little bit. Nothing really is going crazy. Nothing's really going through the roof or anything like that. So, when we look at these things, it's all pretty much sideways. XRP up 2%. To me, that's pretty much even. It's sideways. I don't really get too pumped up about anything that goes up or down about 2-3%. That's pretty average trading volume. So not a lot going on in the market, but there will be some stuff going on in this market when this job report comes out. You're either going to see this thing go up or you're going to see this thing go down, depending on how that report comes out. So pay attention to that report. That report's a good one. It's one that we need to pay attention to. I gotta share another tab on my screen here. I want to go over some XRP stuff here. So there was a article that came out here in regards to XRP. There was somebody from the community who put in a FOIL request, which is an information request to the government in regards to XRP, and the SEC, and the conversations that they had with JP Morgan right before the SEC filed a lawsuit against XRP. I guess in this meeting with JP Morgan, the SEC and JP Morgan had conversations in regards to XRP, and they want to know what these conversations were about. Obviously, the community wants to know what they talked about. This is a good thing. And the judge in this case kind of referenced these conversations in one of the rulings, and but didn't necessarily name JP Morgan by name. What's good, XXI? Good morning. I was just telling Crypto Benny was in here. I was telling him it's going to be kind of a shorter stream today. Just going to go over some news. Market's kind of trading sideways. Stock market's closed today. But we're going over this XRP article that came out where the SEC and JP Morgan met right before they filed the case against Ripple. And I guess the SEC and JP Morgan were having conversations about Ripple. And somebody from the community filed a request of information, a Freedom of Information Act. That's what FOIL means, to figure out what what was said during this meeting. And the judge kind of in one of their rulings referenced this conversation in a roundabout way. So, there's a freedom of information request to find out what was actually said during this meeting between the SEC and JP Morgan. So this one could get interesting, because if the SEC and JP Morgan had conversations about Ripple and the actual upcoming case, that's not gonna look good for the SEC and what they're trying to accomplish. So we're going to see how this plays out. The article references that it'll probably take a couple months for this Freedom of Information Act to come out, and by then both the Ripple attorneys and another attorney said that the case should be settled by then. But still, whether the case is settled or not settled, still want to see what comes out of this Freedom of Information request, because I think it's going to get I think that could get interesting. Gold, how are you? Good morning. The fact that the SEC had conversations with JP Morgan about Ripple before they actually filed the lawsuit could get interesting. And I want to see how this thing plays out. But yeah, so we're going to see. The Freedom of Information Act was filed, and it's going to get interesting to see what's in it. They obviously don't want you to know what's in it, because it's not public knowledge yet. So we're obviously hiding something, right? I want to share my window. So, but the market itself, guys, I mean, it's traded sideways since yesterday. There's really not a lot going on in this market. It's kind of a dead market right now. But the jobs report, guys, that's going to be big today. Something to pay attention to. The stock market is closed, but when this job report comes out, I think you'll see it affect this market either positively or negatively. We're going to see what happens. Isn't a little bit better than what's expected. You'll see this market, if it comes in a little bit hotter than expected, I think it'll go up. All signs point to more jobs than previous estimate. That is U.S. market go up because they're trying to accomplish, right? They're trying to get employment rate up, jobs at least a little bit. Numbers have, that's never really a positive thing, but it's actually where the federal government wants you. So I think I always hesitate when I say that's a good thing, because I don't ever want to see anybody lose their job. But I'm not the government either, and this is kind of what they want. Go over some of this news. Want to share my tab so you guys can hear this video. Because this is I think a video that's important. Because we all are together in this EU nation in a little bit of a different way, right? Like we all kind of go off of each other, the United States, Europe, everybody kind of.
I have a question about.
So here is the European Central Bank president right here. She's speaking about CBDCs, and we know that CBDCs are coming in Europe a little bit faster than what they're going to come in the United States. So, let's hear what she has to say about CBDCs and how Europe is actually looking at CBDCs.
I'm also a good user of electronic money. So my question, you're introducing the electronic euro, as I know.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
how can switching to an electronic currency help?
Well, two things. Number one, it will be decided in October. So we are preparing the ground. We want to be ready. We want to be trained, but it will not be decided until October 23.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I'm personally convinced that we have to move ahead is a situation like the one we are in now. We are dependent on the supply of gas by a very unfriendly country. I don't want Europe to be dependent on an unfriendly country's currency. For instance, I don't know, the Chinese currency, the Russian currency, the whatever. Or dependent on a friendly currency, but which is activated by a private corporate entity like, Facebook or like Google or anybody like that.
I'm user of Bitcoin too. So I had bought it when it started, and I hope that it also will work through the special system. And I know there are many protests in Europe against the electronic euro. What is the reason?
It's the beauty of Europe. It has different positions. If you ask in Northern Europe, for instance, in the Netherlands, they're quite happy to see the e-euro coming. If you ask a young German man, he'll say, yeah, fine. As I said, I don't want Meta, Google, or Amazon to suddenly come up with a currency that will take over the sovereignty of Europe. I don't want a foreign currency to become the currency of trading within Europe. So we have to be ready.
No, the problem is they don't want to be controlled. They don't want to.
Yeah, but you know what? Now we have in Europe this threshold above 1,000 euros. You cannot pay cash. If you do, you are on the gray market. So you take your risk. You get caught, you are fined, or you go in jail. But the digital euro is going to have a limited amount of control. There will be control. You're right. You're completely right. We are considering whether for very small amounts, anything that is around 300, 400 euros, we could have a mechanism where there is zero control. But that could be dangerous. The terrorist attacks on France back 10 years ago were entirely financed by those very small anonymous credit cards that you can recharge in total anonymity.
So you guys see, that's the president of the European Bank talking about CBDCs and how she feels about them. And obviously she's in favor of them. Obviously she looks at them as a way to really drill down into not dependent on another currency. But she says something interesting in this is that they don't want another currency to control their country, that could be created with like Meta or something like that. And she says that specifically, which I find interesting. She might as well just say, cryptocurrency. Good morning, Ken. Good morning, Dr. Rob. Glad you guys are with us this morning. Just telling everybody it's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today. It's Good Friday. Got some stuff I got to take care of at work. and got some stuff I need to take care of and get ready for Easter. So, we're back to wanting to protect we're wanting to protect from yeah, I guess, man. I mean, I didn't say it, she did, Ken. So I mean, I didn't say it, but again, so I just wanted to share that with you guys, because when we talk about these things, you have to understand a lot of these European nations, including the United States, are working together, right? They're all working together to make these things, to make these currencies the way that they are, right? So they're of like mind, right? And I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is that they're of like mind. So obviously the IRS, we talked about taxes yesterday. They're preparing for a mass expansion. So get ready for your tax returns probably to start coming back to you with audits. They're looking to get into a mass expansion. But one of the stories that I really wanted to cover here and just, bring your guys' attention to, again, is these protests here in France, and specifically Paris, where they're protesting the actual retirement system. They want to raise the retirement age by a couple years. Protesters are kind of going at it out there. It's been going on for a little while. It's something that wasn't really widely talked about, but these protesters actually took over BlackRock's headquarters in Paris. So when this is actual footage of these guys taking over BlackRock's headquarters in Paris. So when we look at these things, I mean, obviously, they took the building back pretty quick, but these guys were in the building lighting off fireworks. There's a lot of videos, a lot of stories about it, but why did they target BlackRock? Well, BlackRock is invested in other countries' private retirement funds. We know how big BlackRock is. We know that they can control the whole market when they want to. They can make it go up. They can make it go down. That's just how powerful they are. But, people are tired, man. People are tired. They're just tired. And, I don't agree with any type of violence. I don't agree with people taking over buildings and all that stuff. I think, here's some more footage down here, about them guys letting off fireworks and stuff like that inside the building. But people are tired, man. They're tired of the same old thing all over and over and over and over again, and always getting left behind. And, people are starting to stand up for what they believe in. And I can't say I disagree with what they're doing. But taking over buildings and stuff probably isn't the best move. But you know what? Do your thing, man. Do what you guys got to do. That's because people are tired, man. And that's just kind of what I want to say about that. Is eventually, chickens come home to roost, man. And you can only keep people down for so long. So many Europeans are so many Europeans are finally waking up. Yeah. Ken, I see you're over there. So I think you're over there. And I think I don't only think it's Europeans. I think a lot of people around the country are waking up to what's going on, and how they've been manipulated for a long time, and how the system has taken advantage of them worldwide for a long time. And a lot of people just want control control of the situation, their own situation. And I don't blame people for wanting control of their own situation, and wanting things to be fair and right. Um, I mean, I understand it. I get it. It makes sense to me. Um, people, like I keep saying, just people are tired, man. Tired of being taken advantage of. Tired of the same old thing over and over and over again. Tired of paying all this money and not getting anything in return. Tired of waking up and going to work every day and not knowing when you're going to be able to retire. People are tired, man, and that's the only way I can put it. This article, I did a video about this one yesterday, struck me as this. We got to be careful with these things, right? The U.S. Treasury says decentralized crypto markets threaten national security, and you come down here further in the article, and they go in and they reference scams, they reference money laundering, they reference a bunch of different things, everything negative that you could possibly mention about cryptocurrency in general. Here's what I need everybody to pay attention to. It's a risk it threatens national security, right? When do we hear governments talk in these terms of threatening national security, right? Usually when we're about to have conflict with somebody, right? We heard this with Saddam Hussein. We heard this with Bin Laden. We heard this with, you insert conflict here, right? Everybody always threatens national security, right? Obviously, we know that there's a war on cryptocurrency, right? And this is wartime talk right here. When you start talking about threatening national security, things like that, these aren't words that are just thrown around lightly, right? And this is that rhetoric that's starting to ramp up around the world by these governments. Seiko Hunt, good morning. These are this rhetoric that's starting to ramp up around the world to try to scare the hell out of people for cryptocurrency that are invested in cryptocurrency. And we got to be careful when we read these things, because you got to understand that there's an agenda behind this, right? But when you get down into the details of the rhetoric and you start to look at what they're saying, there's more money laundering done with actual physical dollars than there is cryptocurrency. You look at the amount of money that people are moving across borders and things like that. There's a lot of dollar bills that are threatening national security. If you say that, cryptocurrency is threatening national security, then you also have to say that their physical dollars are threatening national security as well. And, insert country here, right? Doesn't have to be United States. You can insert any country, right? Insert, any country you want in this conversation. It's the same thing. It's the same argument, but we have to be careful when the governments around the world start talking about threats to national security. This is wartime talk. This is what presidents and leaders of countries say when they're about to have very high conflict with people, right? Or countries, or things like that. So this article, that what's actually in it is all opinions. There's no facts. There's nothing that says this is how much money's been laundered in cryptocurrency. This is how much scams have been done in cryptocurrency. This is how many people have been scammed out or money laundering or anything. There's no facts. They're all opinions, and they're all opinions based around the fact that they're trying to scare you, right? in this article, I just see a big scare tactic is all I see. But when you start to ramp up your wording and what you're using, that gets dangerous. I'm just right. Me too, brother. So just be careful when you're reading this stuff, guys. It's not all it's cracked out to be. It's not all apples. It's not all apples and oranges of what they're saying it is. I want to get back to this right here. I want to get back to this article. I think it's this one. It's not going to let me share it. But we're going to take a look at this market again here in a second. And then we'll look at I think it's this one. But yeah, I want to really review this Ripple stuff with you guys, though. This XRP Ripple. It's just interesting that somebody is putting in a FOIL request because the federal government and JP Morgan met in secret conversation about the Ripple case before the SEC actually filed the paperwork for the Ripple case, guys. This is interesting stuff, and it's even more interesting when you go down in here and you read about how the actual judge in the case referenced the conversation that JP Morgan and the SEC had before the case was even filed, but didn't name JP Morgan by name. But now we know that it was JP Morgan and the SEC that met privately before the SEC filed SEC versus Ripple. So it's interesting, and we got to know what them conversations were. So I'm glad that somebody filed the Freedom of Information Act to try to figure out what them conversations were between JP Morgan and the federal government. And it's going to be interesting to see what they actually had to talk about. But both lawyers in this case referenced in this article said that this was going to take a couple months to clear up this Freedom of Information Act. And DG, good morning, brother. Selmo, good morning, brother. Seiko, good morning. And Selmo, good morning. But it's going to take, they both reference it's going to take a couple months for this Freedom of Information Act to be cleared up. And this was somebody from the community who filed this, guys. It wasn't even the lawyers. So interesting, very interesting stuff that, it's interesting that the SEC and one of the biggest financial institutions in this country had conversations about the Ripple case before the SEC actually filed it. That's not an accident. Something happened. They talked about something. Call me a conspiracist, call me what you want, but that's too much of a coincidence right there. Let's go ahead and get back to these markets. But pay attention to that one. Pay close attention to that one. So let's see what these markets are doing on the hourly, guys. Let's see if we're getting any change. Jobs report. I'm telling you, pay attention to the jobs report today. It's going to drive this market either up or down. It's a big report. The markets are closed today, but this market will, the crypto market will react to the jobs report that comes out today. We got to see how that comes out. But it's Good Friday, guys. So I'm going to get out of here a little bit early, half hour. I have to take care of some stuff for work so that I can take care of some stuff personally to get ready for the holiday. But the market itself, it looks like it's going to trade sideways again today. We're sitting at about $1,177 billion. It's trading sideways since yesterday. Really only lost about $1 billion out of the market since yesterday. It's not that, it's very insignificant to what's going on. Bitcoin still holding on to that 27, high 27, low 28 range. Ethereum still hanging on to this mid 1800 range, between 18.5 and 18.8, somewhere in there. It's trading sideways there. BNB still hanging on to this 310 to 320 range. It's trading pretty sideways in there. XRP did break above 50 cents. We know that this 50-cent line, we talked about it earlier, is a huge line for XRP. So we gotta make XRP stay there for a little while. You hear about the BlackRock. Yeah, we talked about that. We just talked about that, Selma. We just talked about that whole BlackRock office thing. I did a video about it yesterday, but I thought we'd meet up about it today and talk about it. And we talked about it. It's crazy, man. But I was just telling people, people are tired, man. They're tired of being taken advantage of. They're tired, man. And, I don't ever condone violence or anything like that. But, sometimes, you got to understand, like, you can only take advantage of people for so long before people start to stick up for themselves, man. And, it is what it is. And, they targeted BlackRock because BlackRock's invested in a lot of private pension plans throughout the country. But the market looks decent. Pay attention to the jobs report. Pay attention to that. Today is going to be the big news. The stock market's closed, so I'm not going to get any movement from the stock market today, whether it's up or down. So today might be just a straight sideways day. It may be a day where, you kick back and chill out and don't really do much in the market. There's not going to be a lot of movement in the market. So unless these jobs reports actually come in and they're actually either really, really good or really, really bad, you'll see some movement. But today might be a day to chill. My stats, Dr. Rob. So looks like we're sitting on the same amount of subs, 768. And we added about 42 hours of watch time. So from yesterday, which is good. But again, I think YouTube's lagging behind. I think they do this to everybody. I was talking to Crypto Lounge yesterday, and I was talking to Wadi before that, a couple of days ago. They both see the same thing. YouTube will lag behind, and then all of a sudden one day you'll see a whole bunch of watch hours show up. So, it's one of the things where I think we're a little bit higher than that, but we have to wait for YouTube to catch up. So that's kind of where we're at. Stat wise, you guys know that when we do reach that 1,000 sub mark, that 4,000 watch hour mark, we are going to do a $750 giveaway on this channel. We're going to bless 3 lucky winners with $250 a piece. We're going to do that on a StreamYard picker. When we hit that mark, that's what we're going to do. Yo, Daniel, we got three states so far, going again. We got 3 teams, CBDCs. CBDCs, it's something to look into. Yeah, states doing their CBDC thing. XXI, I get it. And I understand states standing up for what they have, and I appreciate it. And I think it's the right thing to do. But the bottom line is, if the federal government comes out with a CBDC, it's going to trump anything the state wants to do. The state the state mandates will become completely irrelevant. And the federal law will always trump state law. And that's the pull and tug that you have to get into. And anybody who understands, I know a lot of people are really, on the state law. And, DeSantis came out in Florida and said, he's against CBDCs. There'll never be a CBDC in Florida. That's cool for him to take that stance. And I want every politician to take that stance. I want to know where everybody stands on CBDCs. But if the federal government passes the CBDC and they push it out, what the state says are really null and void. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Federal law will always trump state law. YouTube does its thing. Does its thing when it's ready. When it's ready for 3 weeks. This dude keeps popping up. Oh, I know, Ken. YouTube does what YouTube wants to do, and that's the problem. There's nobody there. Where else you gonna go besides YouTube? And there's really no other platform that's as big as YouTube for stuff like this, and they know it, so they just take their sweet old time. Crypto Lounge was telling me the closer and closer he got to his watch hours, the longer and longer they took to post. That's how I found Austin. That's how you found Austin. Yo, Awesome's back, man. I hope he streams today. Dr. Rob's got Twitter space 11:30. Dr. Rob today. Talk about the conference for MMAI, how that went, how Augie did, any updates on MMAI. I hope Awesome streams today at 1. I understand if he doesn't though. Traveling kind of takes a lot out of you sometimes. So especially with him trading time zones all the time. So I can get it if he's got to catch up, but it's just some things just aren't right. And when Awesome doesn't have a stream at 1 o'clock, it's just something's just off. Yeah, Ken. Ken, it's the likes and in comments that move it up. It is the more people you have commenting in your chat, the more likes you have, the more views you have. It's that moves you up in the algorithm. I don't know. Maybe have I'm gonna look into it. Yeah, look into it, XXI. Federal law will always trump state law. I mean, it's like I respect the states for doing what they want, and I want to know where everybody stands. But if the federal government tells you what you need to do, then that's what you got to do. Better thumbnail might Seiko, man, I am the worst thumbnail creator ever, man. My thumbnails are freaking terrible. I try to make better thumbnails, Seiko, and I just do not have that touch to make better thumbnails. Maybe I can find me an AI to make all my thumbnails for me. Maybe that's the ticket. I just need an AI to do it all. Hire someone. I might like if you guys see my thumbnails and they start coming out as fire and they're the best thumbnails on the market, that I hired somebody. That wasn't me, or it was an AI, one or the other. But yeah, I definitely my thumbnails are crazy. Hire Austin. Shit, Austin don't have enough time to take care of what he's got on his plate right now. He damn sure ain't gonna make my thumbnails. Bitcoin bikini, Bitcoin bikini, car wash. Crazy, man. Crazy, Ken. But yeah, I'm going to my thumbnails, they'll get better. Either one way or the other. Either I'll hire somebody, or AI is going to do it for me, or one of these days I'm just going to have to sit down and take a master class in thumbnails. But yeah, they're not easy to make. Like, a lot of people think that they're easy just to throw out there. Like, you just make a thumbnail and throw them out there. They're damn sure not easy. They're rough, man. So, but with that, guys, I am out for the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I gotta get this stuff taken care of. But I appreciate you guys spending the morning with me. I know there really wasn't a lot to talk about this morning. The stock market's closed. There's really not a lot of news out there right now. But I appreciate you guys spending the morning with me, going over what little bit of news we did have. Talk about the market a little bit. But stay tuned in today to Dr. Rob's space. We got a MMAI space coming up. We're going to talk to, I believe Austin's going to be there. We're going to talk to Austin about the trip and about what MMAI has coming up. And there's a lot coming up with MMAI. The two things that I think that are first and foremost to come out is that Pure Wallet out of beta into production and getting that thing into the hands of the iOS users. I think that that's a big deal. And the marketplace, right? I think the marketplace is close to coming out. I think we're close to seeing what we have in these NFTs. But more importantly, I think we're close to seeing what this marketplace is going to look like for the future. Obviously, with technology, there'll be upgrades, moving forward as things evolve. But I think it'll give us a little glimpse into what this marketplace is going to look like in the future and how we're going to be able to use this marketplace moving forward for renting our properties, buying NFTs in the games, a variety of different stuff. So I think them are the two things that we have coming at us first and foremost. And then obviously you have that, we talk about the Pure Wallet, which I think is the pillar of this whole of MMAI's whole project, right? I think that Pure Wallet is the staple, and it stands in the middle of all the rest of the utilities. And we have that soft launch coming out so that the Apple users can use it. And then right on top of that, we have production 2 that's going to come out, not too far behind that they're working on now. They've been working on production 2 for a while, version 2, V2, production 2, call it what you want. But when that comes out, that's going to change the interface of what we see. And I think that's going to take it to the next level. That's going to take it to that level where we want it to be on how it looks and how it feels and how it operates. So, them are the two things I think that we got coming at us first and foremost. And obviously it's getting to be that time of year where layer 2, we're going to start talking about layer 2 here, really hot and heavy in the near future. It's getting to be that time, right? But let's get this Pure Wallet out in production 1. Let's get this marketplace released. Then let's get production 2 out of the Pure Wallet, and then we can move on. I think we're going to hear a lot of updates over the summer. I think Q2 and Q3. I think starting this quarter in Q2 all the way to the end of the year is going to be MMAI's year. I think that there's going to be a lot of updates coming out to everything that they've already put out. I think there's going to be a lot of improvements to everything that they've already put out for the rest of the year, and launching of that blockchain and opening a corporate office. I think it's going to help drive this project forward in a positive direction. So, stay locked in, stay tuned in, stay together with everybody in the family. We're all in this thing together. You know, we all know what we need. It's coming. We all support what's, you know, how the process is moving, and stay locked in as the family, guys. And I'll see you guys 11:30, 12 o'clock. 11:30, 12 o'clock on Dr. Crypto Space, hopefully with Austin. You know, I hope Austin wakes up and streams today at 1, so we can all get on there and talk about Bone and talk about everything else that we got coming out. I mean, that we're invested in. So with that, you guys have a great morning. Happy Good Friday if you celebrate. If not, TGIF. And I'll be back at you guys probably on Monday. I may do something this weekend. If I do, I'll let you know. So 11:30, Dr. Rob says, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. So be there. I have my reminder set. Go set your reminder. Be there at 11:30. Let's do this thing. Let's get these updates. Let's move this project forward in MMAI. And, you know, I'll see you guys around the chats today. See you guys in the space today. And like I said, I hope Austin streams today. And like I said, happy Good Friday to you guys. Happy TGIF to you guys. Have a great morning. Like the damn stream. Hit the damn sub button. Share the thing out. Get people in here. Let's have these conversations. Let's talk about them. Sorry there wasn't a lot to talk about today, but we still got after it. Have a